Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm speaking with Mark and Sean of Wolves. They have just released a fantastic new track called Pa Arriba, Pa Abajo, the drinking song, and I'm super excited to talk to them all about it. Mark, Sean, thank you so much for coming on today. How are you doing?
Great.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us, Austin.
Yeah, did
Yeah,
I
thank you.
completely nail the title? Because I feel like I got it pretty well the
You got it.
first
You
You
got it.
time.
You
crushed
got it.
it.
Cool.
Yeah.
You
All
crushed
right,
it, bro.
sweet. Well, I want to hop right into it. I love the song. I probably listened to it 5 or 6 times just
Oh,
today because not
awesome.
only to prepare, but also it's just a great song. Uh, and I'd love to hear from you guys what it's all about, like what inspired you making it.
Okay. Well, we work a lot. We're always in the studio. We write a lot of songs, produce a
Cool.
lot of songs, and we collaborate with some of our friends. So we had done a bunch of work, and Sean and I, and as well as our drummer Johnny and a good friend of ours, Alex Charles. We went down to Mexico, drove
Nice.
down, and we had a fantastic Airbnb in Rosarito, right off the
Oh,
beach.
beautiful.
And so we're just down there kicking it, having fun, playing volleyball with some of the locals, going to bars, we're at the club. So we're about to go out. And Johnny says, and he's Mexican,
Sure.
And I've heard this from other Latin friends in LA. So he goes, pa arriba, pa abajo, pa centro, pa dentro, right before we take the drink of the
Sure,
shot.
sure, sure, sure.
And I'm like, what did you say? I said, bro, say that again into my phone
Yeah,
and don't say it to nobody else until we get back in the studio, bro.
right.
Because
Because it's too good.
immediately,
It's too good.
yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, so the pariba part is up,
Mhm.
abajo is down,
Mhm.
pa
Okay.
centro is to the middle, and then pa dentro is
In,
inside.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Centro is center out.
yeah, center out. Yeah.
Okay, I love it.
So
So
that's
basically, the start of a great night out, a special kind
Yeah.
of cheers, and boom, we have an amazing song. That's what I'm hearing right now,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty much
And
it.
then we pretty much kind of just documented the trip itself, like the
yeah?
fun we
Okay.
had, some of the things that we saw, some of the culture.
Even driving across the Mexican border was
Yeah.
interesting. I don't. Have you ever driven down there? I know you're in Calabasas.
Yeah. No, no, no. Well, I was born and raised in San Diego. So it
Oh,
was honestly like a weekly family, not weekly, but monthly family trip to just drive across and go to Rosarito, Ensenada,
yeah.
Tijuana, all
Ah,
those
cool.
fun
Yeah, we went. Yeah, we
places.
went to Rosarito and Tijuana, and we
Yeah,
went like back
yeah.
and forth. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the time, but have never heard that, and the next time I'm down there, we'll definitely be listening to this and, saying that as I take my next shot. So
Let's
thank
go.
you for that.
Let's
Um,
go.
as far as the actual, like, creation and production of the song, I assume that you guys were behind this,
Yeah,
or do you
we
have
did
any,
it.
like yeah? Okay, cool. So
Yeah, we did it
how does that work
together.
within the studio?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it together with our drummer Johnny.
Hmm.
Nice, okay.
And he really, we really wanted to like make sure that it was authentic, to like the style. And so we really like,
Leaned on him a
as
bit more
we
on
lean
this
on
one.
him a lot.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, now what do we do? And
Yeah.
he's like, okay, you need this Motuno guitar. I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, like what's that? And it was great. It was really,
Yeah,
we
we
got to
learned a
swear it
lot.
out. We learned a lot.
Yeah.
yeah.
Process.
Um,
Yeah. And so
now
generally,
yeah. No,
go
go
ahead.
for it, go for it.
Generally in the studio, so the process, Sean and Johnny did a lot of the heavy lifting as far as production. I may have came in here and there, and then I think I already have the song when I showed up, or did I write it?
I think you had.
I think
I think you had at least one verse.
I probably had a verse
Yeah.
already,
Okay,
and then it usually comes out like that because we obviously knew what the hook was going to be, so
yeah.
it was like whatever. And I think I may have a voice note, and I used the original voice note because while we were partying, we bring out the guitar sometime in the
Yeah.
voice memo thing, and so we probably
Yeah.
continue to write it that night. Actually, now that I think
That
about
was such a magical moment, man. We were
I love
we
that.
wrote a few little things that night, just the four of us, like, and just being around musicians, is so fun, and getting to experience that
it. Yeah,
moment where Alex's saxophone comes out in
Right.
our Airbnb in Rosarito, and we're just like having the best time.
That's
yeah,
the best. Honestly, yeah, like I hear it from everyone on, well, I try to sit down and I'll make a song and then I'll spend hours and hours on it. But like these organic moments where it just happens, one, you can feel like the passion and the love really come through when you're listening, and then honestly, it serves for you as a time capsule forever. Not only will
That's
you
true.
have this song, but now you have this trip to go back on. And you're like, damn, like this is it. This is what life is about right here. I love that so much.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Now, one major standout for me is like there's a ton of different like style and genre influences that are in this song. If you had to sort of give an elevator pitch to someone who hadn't listened to it before, how would you describe it? And I feel like there's no wrong answer here just because there's so much going on.
I would say it since it's English kind of hybrid kind of thing with Spanish.
Yeah.
I would say Despacito maybe would be the thing that I would say closest. As far as just like the
Okay.
feel, I would say if I was to tell somebody that hadn't heard it, I would say imagine Despacito, but Pharrell made it.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Um, do you feel that this? I haven't had the opportunity to listen to the rest of your music, but does it reflect what you're making? And if so, like, do you see yourself continuing down this path of these style infusions?
We definitely stepped out of our normal comfort zone doing something like this. You know, it's reggaeton.
Yeah.
And so, and we have our drummer speaking Spanish on it. So it's like there's a lot of different things on there from a genre standpoint. What is consistent is we try to be genuine and honest in our songs and try to, like say, encapsulate moments. This was a moment of like pure, sheer joy, kicking it with the homies, and you just putting that on the track. And we try to really take reality and put it into our songs. And so that's the consistent part as far as other songs.
Makes
But it's
sense.
definitely different from a sound standpoint.
Yeah, we haven't really. This is the first time we explored this genre for sure. But we wanted to make sure it still sounded like us while throwing in some, some elements that we kind of wouldn't use.
Yeah.
But again, to just paint a picture, to tell the story.
This song does serve as a good segue to other songs that we do have that are unreleased that have some of these similar flavors in it that we already made before we made this song. So
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that you would just do a complete 180 from what you'd made in the past. That would be like, is this even the same band putting this together? You know what I mean? But it never hurts to experiment, and you're also just expanding your horizons. And at the end of the day, doing what you think is fun, because that's what music is all about. You shouldn't really confine yourself to lines of music because everything is everything nowadays.
And and not everybody liked this song, and not everybody likes any song we put out. And as artists, we have to kind of come to terms with that.
Yeah, it's true.
And
But
just
you're
trust our
casting a
heart.
wide net. You cast a wide
Right.
net. You make a little bit of everything and see what catches, and then you figure it out. That's like the independent artist way. It's just kind of figuring it out. There's no step by step thing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So, totally. Well, in
there's no
terms,
manual.
yeah, in terms of like future music, I don't want to, stray too far away from this single, but are there more things in the works that you can talk about? Or even if you can't talk about them, can we expect more in the future potentially?
The difficulty is we have too much music, so it's like
Ah, okay.
we
One of those.
it's always figuring
I
out which
see.
song we want to be the next one out. And sometimes we have to wait a bit to see how the current single is going to see if that is a can point us in which direction, which way,
Yeah.
But what is it between?
Oh man.
I think it's between "I Get Back Up," a song called "I Get Back Up," which
Okay.
is much more alt pop, alt rock type of a song. We have another song called "Ain't Got Time," which is a good segue to this. It's much more has timbales. I want to say like some more drums and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've been sitting on a lot of material for a while.
Yeah.
And then we have some things we can't talk about.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
sure.
That's and I wouldn't want you to. We'll save it for another time. Now, how did you guys meet? What is your guys' relationship?
Yeah, so we met through a mutual friend of ours who was originally a third member of Wolves.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
his name is Rocky. Shout out to Rocky.
So,
He's the man, and he actually kind of got us together.
Yeah.
And
he,
you guys met.
yeah, I met him when I was I met Rocky when I was bartending at Dave and Buster's in Hollywood.
Nice.
And he was the one that led us. He said, I have this guy that I know. I think he could be a great addition from production standpoint. And he was Sean. And when we got in that first session, it was our first single that we made that day. Ended up being our first single, as well as like a lot of people who have been following us. It's like the most and best well received song, still to this day, even 6 years later. And yeah, but he reluctantly stepped away, and Sean and I kept it going.
There you go. Do you guys ever find that you have conflicting like personal loves of music, and does that ever pose a problem?
Nah, I don't
No?
think so.
Not really. We take it pretty seriously, and
Yeah.
if we have a deadline or something we got to do, we make it happen.
And generally, like his music, he'll show me something, and I'm like, oh yeah, I like that, and vice
Okay.
versa. It's not like he's listening to hard metal banjo or something like that, and I'm like, what, dude? What are you talking about? It's much more consistency. It's like it's kind of it's differences,
Yeah.
but there are similarities even then.
That makes sense. And honestly, I feel like the differences could make the music better because you both
They
bring
do.
different perspectives to the table, and you're always kind of learning and expanding your horizons. So whatever works, whatever works. Now, are you guys playing shows? And if you are, do you have anything planned or in the works on that front?
Yeah, we'll be at Break Room
86.
86
Okay.
on
Where's that?
October 19th.
It's in Koreatown. I would
Yeah.
say.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a Breaking Sound event. Shout out to Breaking Sound.
Yeah.
We've done a few of their showcases and nights, and they've always been like incredible. There's usually like 3, sometimes 4 other artists that perform as well, and they're just like top tier in LA.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely be performing Pa Arriba Pa Abajo.
Yeah, I mean, you better.
Yeah, as well as some other songs that
We're gonna light it up.
that you may or may not have heard.
All right. You guys ever incorporate any covers or anything like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I never know. You got to fill a set list sometimes. And some people.
Wait, you gotta come through, man. You gotta come through.
October 19th. I think I'll be around actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think doors are at like 8 or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Now, in terms of actually making music, is there something that you guys look forward to the most when embarking on a new song, whether it be like the initial spark or even just the sweet relief of being finished with it after working on it for so long, or anything in the middle that just really, keeps you energized?
Right.
That's a great question. Oh man, you
He says about the spark, about when you get it.
Yeah, well, you were asking like what's your favorite moment of writing a song, kind of, or
Yeah,
could you
just
say
anything, that was a very roundabout question, but just anything that really makes it worth it in the end, because I know how much energy goes into making music and all the stuff that is even non-related to music. Like what keeps you energized embarking on new ventures?
probably the ladies, I would say. Like just hands down.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, yeah, that's the only thing really, I think. For me. I don't know about you. Probably.
Sure.
Oh my God, I didn't expect that.
I mean, why else do people start bands?
Yeah.
Right.
Why am I doing
I mean, that's definitely a perk, but I think mainly we love music. We love what we do, and we just really want to share it with the most people that we possibly can. So I think that moment of like visualizing and coming into fruition of like being somewhere like Crypto or Madison Square Garden, playing like a large event like that, those moments would really like, yes, this is what we've been trying to do.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it would say that a lot has happened to get to that point to begin with.
It takes years and a lot of patience and stuff. And when it pays off like in that way, we get to experience something we'll never forget in our lives.
Yeah,
it's all worth it.
Yeah, and I mean, we've experienced some things already that have been unforgettable. It's just that it's more to do, more to see.
I get it, man. You're always moving the goalposts, so that's what it's all about. Ideally, what does the next year of your lives look like? Like, what are some lofty goals that you'd like to hit? Reasonable or not reasonable?
Probably on a domestic, and then international tour would
Yeah.
be one of the first things. I think that's pretty high on the totem pole for us.
Yeah, especially with touring coming back right now. I think it's very possible.
Yeah, we really want to connect with people
Yeah.
inside LA, but outside as well.
Hey man, that's what it's all about. I've got a couple more questions for you. I want to
Yeah.
know, what are you guys listening to? Like, what has been at the top of your playlist lately, or just something that you'd recommend that people check out?
Hmm. You go first.
I just got turned on to some English music that I'd never heard, electronic English music. There's this group called Fortet.
Oh,
Um,
I saw Fortet last weekend.
okay,
Oh,
I've
yeah,
never heard of them, and you saw their light show that they had in.
yeah,
So you experienced that whole thing. That's super cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that was an amazing. I would love to see that, and
And
I didn't know
there's
about
so
them.
much music. There's so much
Yeah,
music
so
to
much music.
uncover.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty
One
rad.
thing that's always at the top of my playlist is probably Stevie Wonder.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I just, you mentioned covers, and one song we'll probably end up, well, maybe covering at some point is maybe Superstitious. And so
Oh, yeah.
just, that's a song I wouldn't normally gravitate to because it's such a popular Stevie Wonder song. Because I like to go into deep cuts, that he has
Sure.
more than the more that's up there,
Yeah, it's a thing.
But it's one that, in listening to it and going back, I've noticed how it has reflected on my writing moving forward. That's why I tend to listen to older things than newer things. But as far as new artists, I like me some Doja Cat.
Sure. All right.
Yeah,
Two wildly different artists, but you know what? I
yeah.
love it. I love it. Guys, I got one more question for you, and basically the question is for the person that is going to listen to your guys' music for the first time, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them?
If you are a young lady, make sure you don't have on any heels that are uncomfortable because you're gonna do a lot of dancing.
Great answer. Anything else?
Uh, Hit us up.
Yeah,
Cool.
get in touch.
Yeah, we like to connect.
Yeah.
And I'd say one thing to describe our music is passion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of passion involved. It's passion that you can hear the intention.
Great. I love it. That's a perfect wrapping up point. Mark, Sean, I want to sincerely thank you so much for taking the time. Please let me plug your music for you one more time. The song is called Pa Arriba, Pa Abajo, the drinking song. And we're going to have links so that people can listen and share and follow along and do all that fun stuff. But it also sounds like there's a ton more coming on the way. So stick around for more.
Yeah.
And thank you once again. This has been great.
Thanks so
Yeah.
much. Thanks for
Yeah.
having us.
Awesome.
Thank
Have
you.
an amazing rest of your day, and I hope to speak soon.
All right.
Oh,
Awesome.
You too.
take
See you
care.
later. Bye bye.
Peace.